Had a thought, lost it. Welcome to Fading Suns Thursday. I am Jay, I'm your GM. We are live on the we are live on the Ulysses International channel, running Fading Suns, a great science fantasy game that is out in PDF to backers and soon will be in our, I was going to say grubby little hands, but my hands are not grubby. So, when those do come in, we will be doing an unboxing video just to kind of show off all of the cool things that are in the Fading Suns Kickstarter and what you're able to kind of pick up and run with. But tonight, we are back with the crew of the Oh Boii. We are back with, I can do math in my head, 80% of the crew of the Oh Boii, as Calypso will not be joining us tonight. Calypso, if you are watching, hope you're doing well. So, when we last left off, the crew of the Oh Boii, I'm going to say barely survived an encounter with Derek and Derek as Techno Dragon, and several, Val came away from it, missing a leg. Several other people came away pretty badly damaged, and but yeah, you guys made it off of Shop Route with Braxton. And you made it to Criticorum, and you have spent the last several weeks recovering on the orbital station in the asteroid belt of Criticorum system, where the Engineering Guild has several mobile mining space stations that they use for long-term ore refinement, as well as zero-G engineering experiments, that sort of thing. So you guys have spent the time, you guys have all recovered, you have leveled up to level 5. We'll go around real quick after I do the recap and kind of say what you guys kind of purchased for leveling up. And most importantly, Val, you have a new leg. It is not pretty, it is not nearly as nice as Jex's hand, but again, Jex's hand was given to her by the Grandmaster of the Engineers Guild. They were able to get you something not just functional, but like above quality. But it doesn't look human, if that makes sense. It looks like a robotic leg, but it does respond to your nerve impulses, and it works essentially just as well as it used to, with one added benefit.
You can jump. Leap tall buildings.
You can still jump. That goes under.
Does she have a lighter in her big toe?
She does not have a lighter in her big toe.
That's so cool.
But Val, you have a storage compartment in your thigh.
Leg?
So you can seal it. It is EVA. You can completely seal it, so no gas or oxygen interacts. And when it is closed, all stealth rolls to hide something in there is favorable.
Yay!
I was going to detach and become a weapon, but that is going to be true regardless.
Yeah, that's fair.
She's got a smuggler's hold in her leg.
So, as you guys kind of sit in the mess, large glass windows looking out over the Criticorum system, you see small haulers moving, ice chunks and cored out asteroid pieces and heavy metal deposits kind of being shipped around the belt, drawn into the station, where it is processed and refined into those things that really only the Engineers Guild knows or cares about. So, the 4 of you are there. Calypso and, yes, Restar, if Val does jump, I will do my best to add to any sort of physical activity that Val engages in. When she's running, just assume that Val is running in slow motion, but looks like she's going really fast. I felt like it was...
I'm just trying to picture it in my head. Okay.
Yeah. They've rebuilt her better, stronger, faster. They have the technology.
Higher.
It's the Engineers Guild. So you guys are all sitting there. Calypso and Gregor have actually gone to Criticorum for the last week. They both had things that they needed to talk through and work through, possibly hampering, as we're going to use it as a verb?
Sure.
To hamper. So it is the four of you still on the station. Braxton is there. Braxton is slowly, for the last week, has been dealing with several envoys from other noble houses and their intelligence agencies as they are continually going through breaking down the holdouts of resistance in the Engineers Guild from the Civil War. Your father told you that, you've got about, he thinks that by the end of the year, things should be back on track.
Okay.
So, what do you guys want to do while on this space station? Yes, Jexa.
Yes.
Thank you for raising your hand.
You're welcome.
So civilized.
Yes, Jexa is. So Jackson's been doing a couple things. When her dad has had time, she's working with him on figuring out jump gate keys to jump gates that we don't know yet. Essentially trying to figure out if and how they can replace Virgil. And then in her personal spare time, since she's in the Engineers Guild, she is working on her antique space suit to make it ready.
All right, give me a tech redemption roll for that antique space suit.
Plus wits.
Yep, plus wits. And thanks to the technology that you have access to here, you are able to make this roll favorably. But remember, to repair this is a Herculean task.
So I should search first.
And before you make this roll, what did Jexa purchase with her advancements to level 5?
That's an excellent question. Because it's now been 2 weeks, 3 weeks since we've done this. She can drive a transport now. She's got the capability of transport spacecraft, so she can drive the Oh Boii now. Oh, and she has comprehended tech level at the first level to help
Okay.
with stuff like this.
All right, so you can go ahead and make that roll when I come back around the table. Virtually, I'll tell you what happens.
Lovely.
Gemma, what did you purchase and what are you doing?
So Gemma upped her remedy, because we don't have a healer, and her observe. And then purchased
So you bought the remedy for the experience? No, okay.
Stoic Spirit,
Thanks,
so I
Lily.
bumped my spirit resistance and invigorate. So I can yell at my teammates and they can take a revival for free. And it doesn't count against the revival.
Well, normally you would just yell at your teammates and they wouldn't get any benefit from it. So this is a
Well,
step
see,
up.
now I can yell and give them VP, or I can yell and get them a chance to heal themselves for free. So really,
You wonder why people think that Gemma's an angry person.
she doesn't.
all of
okay,
your
she doesn't
power,
really
all of your
know.
powers revolve around yelling
It's
at
supposed
people.
to be like giving an inspiring sermon or talking to them, but
Oh,
I feel like
okay.
in the middle of battle, you can't be like, "Hey Jexa, you're doing a really great job." It's like, "Hey Jexa."
You're good enough, you're smart enough, and gosh darn it, people. Oh God, you just got hit by a flamer. Okay, so what are you doing during your time here at the station?
I would like to help Jexa with the jump gate keys and talk
Okay.
to Braxton about them. See if we can find a workaround. Because I really don't want to have to go deal with the Inquisition and Alexa. I'd like Virgil back because I feel like he's a multi-tool that we haven't figured out yet. But at least getting there, I feel like, is half the battle. And then maybe see a doctor about the significant amount of radiation exposure that Jim has experienced.
You're probably fine.
In the past year and what the fallout of that will be. And then honestly, probably just time to deep meditation. Don't roll dice like that.
All right. We will come back to the Braxton crew conversation here in a bit. Lily, what is Perpetua doing with her downtime, and then what did you purchase for your advancements?
So I purchased Danger Sense and Jump Web Lore because I think
that
Seems
your-
like something that Perpetua would be interested in.
That's fair.
And then I upped my intuition, and I think that when we got our advancement last time, I must have upped my skills, so I don't know what I chose. But I think there must be an Order of St. Paulus around here somewhere, and Perpetua wants to talk to them about jump web lore and gargoyles. And
Gargoyles will F you up. Bork you
Yeah.
up, I should say.
All right, I will come back to you here in a second for that conversation. And then, Val, in addition to your shiny new leg, and I mean that as literally as possible, what did you purchase with your advancements, and then what have you been doing for this downtime period?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember everything I got because it's been a couple weeks, but I know I took the Ingenious perk that lets me convert VP into weird points or weird points into VP. I believe I also got Savings, which lets me roll a d20 once per scene and then use that roll in place of a roll I make later.
Oh, very cool. Nice. And then what would Val be doing with sort of some downtime?
Is there like a decent onboard computer that can translate words?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, I want to try to figure out what my necklace, what the writing on my necklace meant when I saw that.
Okay. All right. So let's start with the Jexa. What did you get on your roll?
I got a 9 out of 17, and luckily I surged, so I have 21 points to spend.
All right. So here's the way this works. 12 gets the suit functional. You are able to increase your quality of success for every 2 that you spend over, up to a total of 6 being kind of the best possible result that you can get.
Yeah, I can do that, so a total of 18.
Total of 18.
Okie dokie.
All right, so for a total of 18, your antique spacesuit now functions as, you know, a normal spacesuit.
Whoa.
Because if you remember, it was peppered by shrapnel when
Yes.
Gemma took that grenade in the chest. So,
Yeah.
I will give you I'm sorry, were you trying to get an emotional response out of me? Because
No, I was just
that feels like
remembering the time
that's
that
a
I
waste
ate a
of
grenade
tears.
and it was not fun.
All right, so you did get hit by a grenade. That was good times. We have a running list of everything Gemma has survived at the studio on the wall. I will post pictures of it after session in the
It's staggering.
in the Patreon Discord channel. So here's the thing. Right now, the suit provides you with 10 hours
Ooh.
of air. Okay.
Okay.
So with your 3 success, and it basically functions as 1 point of body resistance.
Okay.
So you with a 6, you can take 2 of the following enhancements on your spacesuit.
Okay.
You can have a full day's worth of O2.
Okay.
You can up the body resistance to 2.
Okay.
You could take 2 of the both of your advancements to get it to upgrade it to 3. Or you can install an E-web pack. So that means that if you had an energy shield, you could integrate it into the suit.
Okay.
So it would have its own power supply, essentially, specifically for energy shields.
All right. I will take the day's worth of air and that E-pack.
Okay. All right. So you and Braxton and Gemma are in Braxton's what he has kind of taken over as his office. It's essentially one of the main fabricators at the core of this space station. So as you watch, you can see that Braxton has several metal nodes that he's like kind of just you know that you can peel them off. They just kind of
Yeah,
rest on the crown of your head.
Chill,
That
chill,
allows
chill.
allows
Data like peel up his skin and there's a.
Well, that's what
Why
happens
isn't
when
it
I do
Dada?
this.
Because one is my name and one is not. And you can see, I mean, there are arms kind of moving about. There are, flashing lights as laser welders are working. You can hear the whir of machines. And yet, as shrapnel pepper vinaigrette is Gemma's dressing of choice, as you come in, Braxton just kind of holds up his hands and he takes off the nodes, like all 4 pairs, and sets them on the little gel receptacle where they sit, and kind of everything just kind of keeps running. You know that he's probably issued some orders. Sister Gemma, Jexa, what can I, let me find his voice. There we go. What can I do for you? It took me a while.
Yes. So I was wondering if you could help us solve a problem.
Of course. Is station to your liking? I assume Calypso and Gregor will return shortly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not here. I think we're good here. No, this is about the journey I've been on with the crew of the Oh Boii. Yeah, Jexa's gone into full flop sweat. It's fine. We have been following instructions left behind from those in perhaps the Second Republic, and we found a piece of tech that is able to open offline jump gates.
Interesting. What is this?
It has recently fallen into the hands of the Inquisitors. Yeah.
Look, it really wasn't our fault.
It really wasn't. It was not my fault.
Most things.
It never is my fault. And I was wondering if I gave you the specs that I know, if we could maybe figure out a way to replicate it.
We would need to know the code. We would need to have some sort of data set of references.
Gemma has some of those.
Okay, I really need these back. They're really important. And I'll pull out one of the orbs just to see what he does. There's jump gate codes embedded in it, we believe. We know.
Yeah.
He kind of goes over and sets it down on a little scanner. It hovers, and light starts to project. And it projects, as the light kind of passes through the sphere, it projects part of a jump web map. And what's interesting is there are fragments of Ur-Tech Ur language kind of going on the outer edges, but he goes, well, this is part of what seems to be a very specific map of the jump gate web. I cannot really make out these symbols over here yet. They look to be, if what you're saying is true, then yes, perhaps there are pieces of a jump gate code buried in here, but I would guess that you have 17 to 23% of the map. I would need the whole thing if we were to fabricate a new jump gate. What are those?
There's 7 of these.
There's 7, but we're down to 6.
There's 6 of these orbs.
What happened to the 7th?
We used it to open a door.
And it was left behind?
Right, we couldn't retrieve it, right?
That's Maddie trying to remember.
This is Maddie.
I think you were able to retrieve it. Yeah.
Perfect, then. We have 7! I thought I had to give it up to use it.
Was it Limbus?
No,
it was on Lemon Canaan.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no, we took it then. We got it back.
That's
All
where
right.
we found the sun.
So Braxton spends the next 45 minutes kind of rearranging the orbs on the projector, realigning them, getting the light to pass through it, and finally trying different spectrums of light. Each spectrum kind of projects different letters, different characters, different jump route paths.
Is it like the glasses?
No, not like the glasses at all. But you know that daylight savings is not a...
Oh, sorry.
Thanks, Alice. And finally, he...
Poor Alice.
I think this is it. This would, and he kind of, you can see a path, and it looks almost like a circuitous spiral
Okay.
that ends at, well, a place that Gemma knows quite well. It ends at a binary star system. One that collapsed, one of the stars collapsed into a black hole, and the other one is turned into a brown dwarf star.
Where is this place? Oh, JM, the GM?
It would be Milan, where Milan Station was.
Uh-huh, yeah.
But
So
you,
wait, so the station didn't survive? It got sucked into a brown star?
Black hole. Brown star.
Like a brown star?
You have heard conflicting rumors that the station was destroyed, that the station somehow survived. You do not know. But he's like, well, it looks as if, from what you have told me, this must be Limbus.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Lemminkainen and
Okay.
Ravenna. There's something. There is a series of very specific. I believe they look to be. There's a series of very complex, and he kind of zooms in on Lemminkainen, and you could just see the characters go running and fill up the screen. This is advanced mathematics. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say probably some sort of power modulation. Was there any sort of energy source on Lemminkainen that you encountered?
Yes.
Well, my players check their notes. This show is brought to you by Ulisses International, creator of fine games. The other, well, this is not good. And he shrinks it back down, and he points to a jump gate that is near Lemminkainen.
Okay.
Like it, according to the map, like you can see, like it is one jump from Lemminkainen.
Okay.
That is not a good sign. It looks like there's some sort of, I don't speak a lot of the Ur language, but vault, repository, the word for light, but it's in it's got a feminine case ending on it. I would not go there.
Don't.
That is Hargard. That is, you may have heard of it. What do they call it these days? Voldrox? The capital of, well, the Empress's people, the Voldroxy barbarians. But it looks as if there's something there. This spiral intrigues me because, didn't you say? How much did you tell Braxton before we move on?
I would have filled him in on pretty much everything.
Is there any, let me rephrase, is there anything you didn't tell Braxton? Better question.
I probably have skimmed over the whole.
There's a demon in my brain?
There's a demon in my brain.
That's fair. That won't come back to bite you at all.
I probably have told him about Limbus and Bessarion in a general. I have a friend.
Okay.
From Limbus. And I'm glad Vel's not sitting behind me doing air quotes.
We know
I saw
that's the case.
that. actually told him pretty much everything except for maybe the demon bit, and I'm really hoping that Perpetua can help me figure out what's going on. So then when Gemma is like ready to just bash it out of my skull or pray it out of my skull or do whatever to get it out of my skull, I'm ready.
The first step in any good exorcism is bashing the head to the point that it cracks, so that then the demon
can
ooze
just
out.
leak out.
Yeah.
Power of Gemma compels you.
Yeah, that clear liquid is definitely demon goo and not brain fluid.
Wait, Hadrian's Wall is on Lemminkainen. Sorry.
Yeah.
Got it.
Well, if you
sources
watch,
of Hadrian's Wall. So
again, I'm making an assumption here, but and he types something out, and you can see the spiral kind of loops back on itself. That's sort of the natural progression. And as you watch, you can see Lemminkainen starts growing brighter, and the spiral glows brighter as well. I do not know what to make of this, Jexa. But whoever gave you these spheres, they were thinking on a level that I can't even begin to imagine. This is millennia worth
They're
of stellar
from
plotting.
a saint in
Yes,
the
of course.
Second Republic.
Pre-second.
Pre-separate. Like a long time ago.
Well, I think you're right. All right, so we're gonna jump over to Val real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, I also did want to know if he's going to mention where else these places go, because I'm ready to write them down.
To what?
Where else does this spiral go besides Milan, Limbus, Lemminkainen, and Ravenna?
Hargard is the other main place.
So we're not supposed to go there, but we need to go there.
There is also, if you remember, Holy Terra and Pentateuch are two other places that were mentioned to you before, but are definitely part of the spiral. And here's the thing: sometimes the jump gate map is presented just because we are
Finite people.
dealing with print products as a flat map.
Right.
No, this is three-dimensional space.
Right.
So when I say a spiral, I don't necessarily mean like a linear spiral, but one that dips down, comes back up, comes around, and
Yeah.
from a certain angle looks like an Ouroborean spiral.
Right.
Okay. Val, you're sitting in front of
Yes.
the computer screen. What are you doing with your necklace? Now again, why don't you tell everybody, at least for the viewers, the rest of the people don't need to know, where is this necklace from, and why is it so important to Val?
So, this necklace is something that her parents gave her when she was growing up on Lemminkainen, shortly before they died. It's the last thing that they gave her, and it's kind of the only thing she has left from them. So she just always keeps it on her as like a keepsake token from her family.
Okay. All right. So what are you doing with this as you're sitting in front of the computer?
I probably just got the necklace off, kind of holding it in my hand, looking at it, trying to figure out if there's any more writing on it, kind of looking at it occasionally, trying to... This is really freaking her out that her necklace, after all of these years, is doing weird things. So she's probably just staring at it, trying to figure out what's going on as the computer is translating the script that showed up.
All right. I would like you to give me a wits plus tech redemption roll as you do this.
Oh boy, that ain't good. That's not a good number for me. Wits plus tech redemption?
Yes, you may want to surge.
I'm going to, and I'm gonna drop some VP into that number, because that is not a good number for me.
Mine's 16. I don't understand.
Wits plus tech redemption.
Yes. Why doesn't everybody else have a high number there?
So I'm
Mine's a
drop
6.
9 of my 16 VP into that to get that number up to a 17.
Melee
All right.
is a 16.
And I succeeded with a 9.
Okay.
Yay!
How many do you want to spend on this? You have succeeded. The more
Can
you
you
spend,
remind me
the
of
more.
the levels?
So yes, I'd be glad to. So in Fading Suns, I'm going to switch over to explaining to the chat because I know Restar is new here. Glad to have you here, Restar. Maybe not that new. The resistance rating is sort of the difficulty. It's how many victory points you have to spend to overcome the resistance of the task. It goes all the way from effortless, which is 0. Easy is 2, and they kind of go up from there. Hard, demanding, tough, severe, Herculean. Which always makes me think of Agatha Christie.
Hercules.
Oh, no, I went Agatha Christie, not Eddie Murphy. And then Miraculous, which is 14 plus.
So you know what? I've got 14, so why don't I just spend 12 to just
All right.
be like, I don't know how many I need to spend, so I'm going to spend 12. Because
Perfect.
I don't want to fail.
What you discover is there are actually 2 languages kind of overlaid here. The older one is a what seems to be let me pull up my notes.
Notes.
Gotta love notes.
So one of them is Latin, and what's strange about it is it does seem to be a letter to. It seems to be a message, and remember the text is sort of flowing over the metal of this locket like etchings that are just kind of constantly moving. They're very small. You've got kind of like an engineer's light and magnifying glass set up over it so that you can see it, and the computer is recording it, and so you kind of look up on the screen and it's telling you there's 2 sets of code kind of overlaid. The older code is definitely Anunnaki, which is the first race. It's the language that the jump gate codes are in. It's very weird. You don't know, 1, why that would have kind of come up from nothing. 2, why did your parents have this? You don't know. However, the second one is written in Latin, and it's very easy for them to translate. And it says, Val. Pull up my notes. We don't have much time. We are putting you in her care. She will know what to do with this. And when the time comes, I hope the secret that we have been charged with will come to fruition in your life. Know that you carry our love wherever you go. This is both the key and the hope for tomorrow. And then your parents' names.
Can you send me the text of that, JM? Because
I will-
I did not catch all of it writing down.
I will be glad to. I'll send it to you after this.
Thanks. Okay, do I know who they're talking about when they're talking about her?
Well, as you think back of it, yeah, you do. Right before your parents died, that was the first time you were introduced to Gregor's mother.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Okay.
See, I was thinking Beatrice because it freaked out near the Beatrice stuff.
Okay.
The computer kind of pings at you and says, "Do you wish to run initiation sequence?"
Do I know what it's initiating?
You do not. It has translated the older code, and it asks if you would like to run the initiation sequence.
Okay, can I get on the comms
I was gonna say you're about to leave us all behind.
and
Good decision.
comm Gemma? I mean, it's an open comm line, but I'm calling Gemma.
Okay. I will come back to this. I'm going to jump over to Lily. I realize I pointed down, but that's just because Lily is below me on the big meeting screen. This is Lily. I don't know where she's at on the actual screen.
Well, she's
Who knows?
probably that way.
Who knows? Like honestly,
you.
like it's like this is a Gnostic paradise. Like who knows where she actually is? So Lily, there is no Order of St. Paulus on the Engineers Guild, but you are able to connect with the Order on Criticorum.
Right.
As the comm goes through, you connect with a rather kind of late middle-aged woman, kind of steel gray hair, a couple of scars, definitely tattoo of the Order of St. Paulus kind of down the left side of her neck. Yes? I'm sorry, we're not taking on any charters right now.
I don't need a charter. I'm already a member.
Oh!
And this is. And I have need of information.
Well, any member of the Order is a fellow sister of mine. What can I do for you? I'm Commander Atana.
I am Perpetua.
Wait, I know that name.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Were you involved in the discovery of Antioch?
Yes.
You have brought much honor to our order. What can I do for such an esteemed member of the Order of St. Paulus?
So I'm most concerned about what just happened to us underground and in the shrine. So I tell her the story. Female? Male?
Female.
Them?
Yeah.
Anyway. The story of what we heard while we were in the shrine and what we saw when we came out of the shrine and what was going on underground. And
So this is the Ur ruins that you were just at? Okay.
yes. And how I noticed what the similarities were between the symbols on the jump gate and the symbols in the ruins.
Yes. No, that makes perfect sense. The Anunnaki, what is called in more common parlance of the Imperium as the Ur, they are the ones who built the jump gates. If you entered sealed ruins, I'm not surprised that you... Did you smell the scent markers?
I didn't smell the scent markers, but one of my teammates did.
Isn't it just, it's bizarre. I don't know what they looked like, but the fact that they... Yes. Sorry, no, yes, the jump gate keys are essentially, we know how they work. We don't necessarily understand all of the science behind it, but essentially a jump gate key projects a series of mathematical projections, formulas, equations. Those far smarter than I, there are records in the Order which try to explain it, but essentially it projects not just the point in space the jump gate is, but the point in space the jump gate you want to go to is at, and somehow bridges the distance based off of the key. It's all, I didn't get into the Order to do math. I was promised there would be no math. I just want to make maps and find things that no one else has found. I'm sure you can relate to this, Perpetua.
Yes. And the Guardians?
Oh, the gargoyles. Yes, I sometimes think that the gargoyles in the First and Second Republic architecture, those that we find on Holy Terra, are imitations of those left on the jump gates. They are essentially, to call them constructs is to do them disservice. They are part of the jump gate, but seem to, and they're not just on the jump gate, they are on Ur ruins. Each one seems to have a very specific set of principles
Yes.
which triggers them. In general, it feels like most of them respond to invalid jump gate keys. But some respond to specific types of people, specific emotions, specific markers on personalities that I'm not entirely sure. I don't know that there's anyone in the Imperium who understands them. What I will say is, while they can be destroyed, the ones on the jump gates I don't know that have ever successfully been damaged. They are a wonder of the universe that we do not understand. Why do you ask?
Well, we encountered one, and it asked one question and then liquefied anyone who answered it.
That does not seem to be a positive experience.
I mean, I now have to do more research to figure out if we activated the gargoyle or if we were just in its way. But it was able to travel quite a distance without time passing.
The Anunnaki were, I should say, masters of reality in ways that not even at the height of the Second Republic did we, right? If you read the Church's doctrine, right, at the height of the Second Republic, terraforming, force shields, androids, advanced sentience, these were things that were within the grasp of humanity. And yet, were we able to recreate or craft the simplest soul shard left behind by the Anunnaki that have resided with intelligence and spirit and emotion since before life began on Earth? No, and let alone we've never been able to recreate a jump gate. We are ants striding through a garden. We are not now that strength which in old days moved heaven and earth, made weak by time and fate, I think is how the poem goes. Anyway, What else can I help you with, Perpetua? It feels to me as if you are not telling me much, but you are on the cusp of some additional great deed. You should share some of the glory. Your name will always already go down in the order of reopening Antioch.
I think if more people wanted to go inspect the ruins, you know, I'll give them the locations and the
Okay.
jump gates that we used.
Okay.
You know, I can't leave my crew, and but we really need to figure out how either we activated the gargoyle or how the gargoyle was activated, I guess.
Do you know if...
And
There is usually the gargoyles act in one of two capacities. The first is in response to some unknown stimulus. The second is in response to direct attack against the jump gate, or whatever they happen to be guarding. Was the ruins or anything else attacked in this time period?
it could have been the attack. Do you
That's-
know of the disruption in the Engineers Guild?
Please. They've been trying to keep the lid on it, but they're like two toddlers going to war over, or in a backyard, except instead of with sticks and stones, they have Second Republic technology. I hope the Emperor intervenes if this mess is not cleaned up soon.
It may no longer be necessary.
At this point, an open comm message from Val comes over the comms. Val, what's your message?
Where am I right now, JM? Like, what part of the station am I on?
So you are currently in one of just sort of the general fabricator labs. So kind of off of, there's like 3 main fabricator bays. The largest of which is now Braxton's, right? Little paper note on the door. Braxton's shop.
Do not disturb.
Do not disturb.
I walk in there all the time.
No derricks allowed.
Okay. So I'll just get on the comms. Gemma, I'm down in the fabricator labs. Would you mind coming down here? If you know where Jexa and Perpetua are, maybe bring them too. I don't want to blow up the station.
Okay, yeah. We're wrapping up something here, but we'll be down in just
No,
a
I
minute.
will. I can. Wait, did she say blow up the station?
I think she means, like, you know, get everybody's attention, blow up the station, not like physically explode it.
Knock it out of orbit.
Listen, Jexa.
Yeah.
You're,
No, I mean there's a button I kind of want to push, and I probably shouldn't.
You should go take care of that,
so-
because if this space station falls out of the synchronous orbit that it is in, we will all die. Do not make this a habit. Go deal with that.
It's not a habit.
It's not a habit yet.
I
Once is a happenstance. Twice is a coincidence. 3 times is a habit. Let's leave it at a happenstance. Please don't let her do anything to blow up my fabricator.
Okay.
I kind of need those orbs.
I'm still processing the data from them. If you want me to create the jump gate key, I will need at least another 4 hours.
Do you want to stay here
On
and
a
watch him?
functional station that has not blown up.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I don't really know how to threaten people, so I'm not gonna try. But I really need those back.
I have no desire to keep them.
Great.
Perpetua, do you head towards Val, or do you finish up your conversation?
Could the commander hear region?
No, it got a separate channel.
There's a crisis on my ship. I hope we have time to talk later.
I will leave this open. I will send members of. I will
And I
prepare
put
an
on-
expedition to Shoproot, though. Thank you. Send your maps when you have time.
Thank you.
All right, so you guys are all heading to where Val is attempting to not hit the big red button that she thinks may blow up the ship.
Uh-huh.
Sweet.
I mean, I don't know what it's going to do, but I'm not very smart, so I'm gonna just
And you come
stare
to
at
Gemma?
Well, she wasn't ready.
Well, like, scary, weird stuff. Like, you're gonna calm Gemma, because Gemma can deal with scary, weird
Very
stuff.
true. Very true. I appreciate that.
That's Val logic, at least. Val's not the smartest.
Look, us not smart folks have to stick together.
Have to do that thing
Exactly.
where we're in the same room and are like that.
Yes.
I was joining the not smart. You guys are fine. You guys are totally smart characters. You're just not like Jex is the brains of the operation.
Which is terrifying.
Perpetua is the brains of the operation.
17-year-old is a brain. Cool. So room with the big red button. What do we
Val
see?
is
Sorry.
the shoot things and see what happens.
Yeah, Val is really good at sneaking behind people and then putting bullets through the back of their head.
I feel like Val is effect and then cause versus cause and effect.
Yep. I'll worry about the cause after the effect happens.
Yeah, that's
if
right.
ever.
That's right.
Right.
On one side you have Jexa and Perpetua, on the other you have Gemma and Val, and that little sprinkling of chaos to season the Oh Boii stew is Captain Mars.
So, what do we see as we walk in? And can I get any more information?
So you
Yes.
see a small research station, kind of like what?
Okay.
Not research station. You see a small workstation, much like what you have recreated on the Oh Boii,
Yeah.
but not nearly as way nicer than what you have
Right,
you,
right.
you have cobbled together things. This is like an actual engineers guild
Right. I've
workshop.
had to use unimportant pieces from the Oh Boii. I kid, Calypso. I kid.
It's like Calypso and Gregor, they don't take well to basically one thing, and that's messing with the ship. I mean, Braxton showed up and Gregor was very willing to graciously step aside, but you mess with the Oh Boii and violence ensues.
Just blame it on Frank.
So as you walk in, you can see there's a bunch of, it looks like Val has sort of kicked out whoever was working in here, and Val is sitting next to a terminal. There is a large, again, kind of one of those lights with the magnifying glass in there. Suspended on a small anti-grav lift is the necklace that you always see Val wearing, and there are two things on the screen. One is scrolling through a ton of data as you just watch, and you can see that it's basically scanning the necklace. The other one, there seems to be a compiling screen that is now just reading initiation sequence. Yes, basically, resume or cancel.
What were you looking at, Val?
Hi, Lee.
Well, you see, my necklace started doing weird things when we were in the ruins,
Uh-huh.
and the script on it, I couldn't read it, so I brought it in here, and I had it translate it, and it's a letter from my parents, but that's a whole other problem. But apparently there's 2 sets of code, and now the computer's asking me if I want to initiate something, and I don't want to blow up a station
Yeah.
by initiating something that I don't know what it is. So help.
Yeah. No. You should say no for now. We can initiate sequence
But what
elsewhere.
if we need it?
Well, in theory, if it says resume, that means we can resume it later.
Okay.
It
Because apparently this necklace is a key or something. It's a key, apparently.
Do we know what a key to? Like a key to the cupboard? A key to the hover car?
Well, I'm guessing it's not a key to the cupboard. It's my parents wrote a letter on it, and they said something about it being both the key and the hope for tomorrow, which sounds a little more important than a hover car, I think.
Turns out it was just Val's 16th birthday present. Somewhere on Lemminkainen, there's this like now sun-beaten,
Really nice hover car.
dusty hover car that was probably really nice about a decade ago.
Some people are real possessive
Oh,
of weird
stop.
things.
You're gonna make Val cry, JM.
Yeah, maybe
I don't know what it is.
Maybe we should do that not on an important space station.
Do we have the ability to replicate this somewhere else?
I mean, we could do it on the Oh Boii.
Jexa, give me a wits plus interface roll.
I'm gonna drop these 3 to make it 17. Ooh, that's a 19.
Nerds.
That was close though.
Well, I was gonna give you my weird point so you could roll it again.
You gotta spend the weird point beforehand.
Yeah.
So you missed it?
I missed it.
Yeah, you're looking at this code. You're not sure it'll work on the Oh Boii. You would need something with like. You would need an engineer's lab.
Okay. But perhaps we could get an engineer's lab on a planet we don't like.
Question. I don't know a lot about this technology stuff, but is there a way we could sever the ties so whatever program would infect the station, it would just run on this one computer?
Possibly.
Nosebleed.
Does that hurt?
A little bit.
I mean, what's like, I don't know anything about this kind of tech thing. What's the worst that could happen?
The worst
Jexa, do you
the
think?
worst
I mean,
that
is
could
this-
happen. Let's just hypothesize here. The worst that could happen is it could take all the energy from the station, knock it out of orbit, and send it, hurtling to the planet below, and kill everybody on board.
So that's bad, and we're not doing that.
Correct. that is bad.
Right.
That is bad.
Okay, that's why I called somebody who's not me to deal with this, because I don't know.
I mean, we could get some engineers to double check and see if it would possibly blow up the station.
Would your dad be able to figure out what it does?
Quite
what it is?
possibly. I can go ask. I'll go ask.
Okay.
Now we're alone in the room. Push the button.
I'm not there. It's not my fault.
But Perpetua walks in, the other voice of reason. Evan asks, so we're not liking whole planets now?
Yes, we're not.
That
yes.
seems fair, Evan. Like, have you seen how this group
Now,
treats
Evan.
planets? I think you've blown up.
We
You've
have
blown
not.
up at least one planet.
No.
What planet did we blow up?
Perpetua was involved
Okay,
in an
we
incident that
didn't
blew up
blow
a
up a
large
planet.
chunk of Phlegathon.
Watch your we.
Some of us.
It was a planet.
Perpetua is part of.
Was it a planet?
Yeah, Phlegathon is a planet.
I'm sorry. Calypso just wrote, I missed the first 30 minutes, but we're trying to genocide 2.0 now.
Yeah.
Glad to have you in chat, Lee.
Sitting
Um,
on my hands.
So, get Braxton is the code is now being projected, and he's sort of manipulating, pulling pieces down, rearranging them, trying to put them in some sort of order.
I'm going to explain the situation.
Wait, you want to press the button that just showed up after reading some strange code off of what may be an Anunnaki device?
They do, yes. I'm thinking that's a bad idea.
We need to know what it does.
Yes.
Why do you have the feeling that it would need a station like this?
It's complicated. Like the actual script and everything is complicated. I know it's a little bit over my head.
Well, we can go take a look at it. I would need to seal this lab because I'm afraid that if anything happened while I was gone, Gemma would hold me personally responsible
She would.
for her
Missing orbs.
orbs. It's the word we're going to use.
Orbs and spheres, man. That's what they are. They glow.
Okay, so all right,
Radiation.
let's stop. All right, so he locks the lab.
Okay. Look, my dad's here.
I feel like if you feel like there needs to be a lab of some sort, we can find some other Engineers Guild facility for you to use. Perhaps one on a planet that does not have to, sustain life support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's...
Don't touch that button.
I feel like Val and Gemma are just like.
I wasn't touching it. I wasn't touching it.
Dear Pancrator, what is this? He just starts scrolling through.
It's
You're saying
my
this
necklace.
Is all in your necklace? Who are you?
This is Val.
I'm Val. We met earlier. We've established that.
No, but I mean, who are you to have something? Look, stop. And he kind of pulls it back down. Those 3 words again.
Uh-huh.
Vault, light.
Is this a key?
I mean, this is supposedly a key.
I don't know. It seems to want to access a lot of power and a lot of
Uh-huh.
the resources on the fabrication station. I don't like the idea of hitting this button
Okay,
here.
let's take it. Let's say no. Let's say no, so we don't kill ourselves.
I've survived worse.
Yeah,
You have-
see,
No,
certified,
you have gotten sucked out into
Sorry.
space.
certified Torganic has
Mr.
pointed out that you put a
Mr.
button
Mendez.
in front of somebody and people want to press it. Yes, Val.
I mean, you put a button in front of Val. She definitely wants to press
Oh,
it.
I know. There's a
Oh.
reason why this came up for you and not for Jexa. Jexa ignores buttons all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Mr. Mendez, do you know what this is? Do you have any idea what it's trying to initiate? What it's
It
trying
wa-
to make, or?
It wants to build something, but no, I cannot.
To build something?
I cannot even begin to imagine what is going on here.
I mean, this is. I've had this for years. It never did anything until we were at the Ore Ruins, and it started buzzing, and the script came up.
Perhaps it was something. Perhaps it was interacting with something with the ruins. Perhaps the strange floor. I don't know.
Wait, Gemma, didn't it glow? Your orb that you had, didn't it do something when it was by the orb?
Mm-hmm. Do you have those orbs?
Yes, let me just. No, I left them in the lab. I told you I needed 4 hours to craft the codes that you need.
Val, can you wait? Can we take this offline? Wait perhaps a day and then find another station on a planet with quick access to the Oh Boii in case. Because right now we don't even have the Oh Boii to jump on. So
Right. Yeah.
Almost like the
No, we should wait. Is there a way to find out if it's sending out any kind of signal? It hasn't been active all these years, but it's
You mean
active now, and I'm worried that
What's
it's
this?
maybe...
He walks over to the bench, picks up a couple of tools, comes back, and that was insightful thinking, Val. It's setting off a very powerful low frequency transmission, something I've never seen before. I don't know where it's sending it to.
Is there a way to turn it off?
I mean, we could smash it.
No.
Then here's the thing about
I
technology.
literally have a hand on my gun.
I would not actually smash your locket, not that it would do any good. Most pieces of or technology that I've encountered are, I don't even know how this other message got on there. They're normally inviolate. Unless, of course,
I don't know. My
specific thing
parents.
was some sort of... Well, if you look here, and he kind of points to the locket, there are two pieces here. There is what's clearly the ore piece, and it looks like someone has crafted a mounting kind of around it. They did amazing work. It is old. I would say the mounting goes back to probably the Second Republic, but it is not part of the original piece. The core of the locket is indestructible, as far as to my best guess. I haven't actually tried to break it, but most ore tech is.
Quick question.
Quick answer.
I have the representation of Beatrice that we used as the key to get out of the tomb in Limbus that I took from Beatrice's tomb.
Yes.
Does that set the thing off if I get it close?
Or does it look similar?
Or that too?
You see that as you bring the icon of Beatrice closer to this piece, the text starts scrolling across its surface faster. And the thing does start to shake in the anti-gravity field, and there is a audible hum and a visible glow to the locket, much like it reacted when around the spheres.
Huh.
Maybe
Huh.
no.
I'm gonna pocket that, and then I'm gonna go back to the lab, and I'm gonna stand vigil outside that door because I don't trust you, and I don't trust the engineers. So I'm gonna go stand vigil outside Braxton's lab. Don't leave without me. Bye.
So, Val, I mean, we've given you our recommendations, but this is your necklace and your choice, and I just really don't want to die, so what do you want to do?
I mean, I'd rather not die either, but I think I need to make a call to someone. There's someone I need to... I need to make a call to someone. We do nothing with it for now, I think. Wait until whatever's going on with those orbs is done, and then... yeah.
Okay,
Maybe she'll know what to do with it.
that's a good plan. Hey, Perpetua, are you done with your phone call?
Yes, I hung up.
Oh, okay.
And ran off.
While we're waiting for my dad to finish with the orbs, can I talk to you?
Yes.
Excellent. So Gemma's going to watch the door. Val's going to call someone, and I want to ask you about your experience in Phlegathon.
Mm-hmm.
And I will
Specifically, part.
Well, I will walk you to a like empty room, so that we're not in the midst of everybody, and we give Val her privacy for her phone call. Yeah, and nobody can overhear us. The specific part that I would like to talk to you about, you interacted with Ashka Gael in person?
I'm not sure if it was in person, but it seemed to be.
And she's dead now?
We destroyed the part of Ashkagael that was on Phlegathon.
Uh-huh. Did she
But
seem stuck there?
I'm sorry?
Did she seem stuck there?
Yes.
Okay, so that's like the only place where you interacted with her.
No. I may or may not have had a space elevator experience with Ashkagael as well.
A space elevator?
We were on a ship. It's kind of blurry. I may or may not have been able to breathe.
Uh-huh.
We got trapped. Father Bell and I were in an elevator, and we got trapped in the elevator, and we were trying to get into our team, and Ashkagael was trying to kill us, or convince us to join forces, or something. It's a blur.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So,
But that was before Phlegathon.
oh, that was before Phlegathon.
Props to Lily.
So let's.
Does Perpetua not know?
I'm not
No, I know.
sure. I
Oh,
think
Perpetua knows,
Perpetua
okay.
knows. So, if I were to tell you that sometimes I see like raven's feathers, around me, and I know she was once in my head, but I haven't heard from her in a couple weeks, which is kind of unnerving. You don't think? I mean, do you think? Is there a problem? And how do I fix it? I mean, I'm gonna ask Gemma, but you've kind of already dealt with Ashkagael, and I was kind of hoping that you had an idea.
So when did you stop hearing? When was the last time you heard from Ashkagael?
Maybe a little bit before shop route.
Okay. So, like, after I had joined you.
Yeah.
And that was the last time you saw the crow feathers also?
The last time I
Raven
saw the
feathers?
raven feathers was on Byzantium Secundus. Riding my motorcycle.
Question: I
So,
saw Raven's
what
feathers
I
on
know-
you in shop route?
Yeah, but did you ever tell me?
No, I'm just trying to clarify for
Yes.
myself. Okay, sorry.
Yep.
So, what I know about Ashkagael is that she bides her time and does not want to reveal herself too early. And she will come to you in a moment of weakness, or,
Okay.
might in a moment of weakness. It's hard to say.
Okay.
So what did you talk about?
What has she talked about with me? She has talked. I mean, she tried to kill one of my boyfriends. Like she told me I'm always going to be alone.
She's a jerk.
She is a jerk.
She told me I was going to be able to, just for the record.
Oh. Okay. And you're not.
And I don't think I am.
I mean, the
Okay.
two of you are technically alone together right now, but that's...
That is true.
So, for me, firstly, I mean, the temptation was there, right? Ashkagael promised if I just gave up, if I just gave in, I could see as many worlds as I want to. I would have,
Right. Yeah.
But
yeah, her
the
exact
important thing to
words.
remember is
I
were
really feel
that-
like she would have had Perpetua if it hadn't been for that pesky Father Bell.
pesky Father Bells would have gotten
Well,
away with it.
she focused on the wrong thing. She wasn't going for curiosity. I don't remember what she was going for, but she was going
Oh.
for,
So
something else.
you're saying curiosity is the way to Perpetua's. God, cool. I'm just gonna make a note here that's
So many exorcisms.
unrelated.
I already told you that one.
So many
Yeah.
exorcisms.
No, and I totally understand that. I mean, yeah, I mean, being told that, your boyfriend's blood will be on your hands is kind of terrifying and makes you kind of want to, not be anywhere near her.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the important thing to remember the next time that she talks to you
Uh-huh.
is that, I already know the things that she can say.
Uh-huh.
And so, tell me about that. That's fine.
Uh-huh.
And, she doesn't always, she might tell a truth. I don't know. But, you don't have to believe whatever she says.
Okay. Okay. That's good. I mean, yeah, I'll probably see if Gemma can, help.
I will say that Gemma is probably the best person to tell because Ashkagael does not respond well to mentions of Beatrice, to instances of Beatrice, to interference by those who are acting on the part of Beatrice, because that's how Father Bell helped me, by invoking Beatrice.
Okay. That's good to know.
All right, so we're gonna jump over to Val's call, and then we will end in the fabrication.
I'm
lab.
assuming you know who I'm calling.
You're calling Lucia, right?
Yes.
I figured it was that, or you were phoning a friend. So, I mean, yes,
Same
both.
difference.
Yeah, no, exactly. So it takes you about a half hour to establish comms, and again, remember it's not instantaneous. So, what's the message that you want to send to Lucia? And we will get the message back probably at the start of next session.
Okay. What I'm sending is things got a little weird. I need to talk to you. Do you know why my parents died?
Whoa. That's a question.
It's a softball. Just lobbing it out there, super easy.
I mean, I gotta get her attention. I gotta have her respond to me.
Yes.
All right, I'm just All right. So later that, it again, communications are faster than, say, traveling there, but they still require a lot of time. They're like instantaneous. No. The message you receive is text only. It's not a video. It is not an audio message. Again, like it is nothing but very simple. Oh, my dear child, I will be on Lemminkainen when you're ready to talk.
Ah, gotta go. Okay.
As all of this is going down, you are glaring
Oh,
at Braxton
boy.
to make sure that I feel like the ship, like I joke that the game that we run on the Iconic channel on Friday nights, check out the Iconic channel on Friday nights and on Monday nights when Becca runs Call of Cthulhu, is the most appropriately named D&D game, right? It gets worse. But I'm going to argue that the Oh Boy
Oh boy.
has, yeah, exactly. That has become the mantra of this game, and I'm very glad for that. So as you are glaring at Braxton as he deals with your orbs, suddenly he lets out, oh, by the Pancreator's mercy. Gemma, what did you say? Quick, what were some of the names of the planets that you have been to? The systems.
Lemminkainen, Ravenna.
And he starts pulling words out of like the display that that he's been pulling from these codes. And it takes him a while, and he orders them and sort of steps back, and you can see there's a series of codes on the left, which Braxton has already explained to you, like these long kind of logarithmic formulas are the jump gate keys. But then there's single words in the same characters on the right hand side. He's like, hold on, I'm going to patch in. If the Inquisition asks, no, I do not have access to the library.
I don't either.
Excellent, we are in agreement. Neither of us know how this happened.
Oh, I can feed him codes if he needs.
Oh, you do have access.
I have all the codes.
Oh, that's right, you have that
I'm
perk.
just like tweaking a little bit so they're not
All
like
right.
exactly my codes.
All right, so what you see is a list of 7 planets: Milan, Ravenna, Limbus, Lemminkainen, Antioch, Hargard, and then the code for the Milan station system again. And as you watch, things start falling into place and the words are being translated. And they follow this, they are linked to these: hope, paths, repose, power, binding, armory, final ignition.
And that links to the planets.
Milan is hope, Ravenna is paths, Limbus is repose, Lemminkainen
His power.
is power, Antioch is binding, Hargard is armory, and Milan Station is final ignition.
So it links best. Oh crap. So we have to go back to a station that may or may not exist anymore?
Yes.
Neat.
Yes.
And as all of that
Harvard.
is happening, you all get a beep alerting you that the Oh Boii will be docking in 5 minutes as it approaches the station, and that is where we will pick up next week. We will leave off here. Information, messages sent, messages received, new information, and perhaps a path forward. Check out all the other great shows on the Ulisses International channel. There are just a ton of great interviews with Bill and Andrew of Fading Suns. They like the show. I don't know if you've heard, Mark said that Andrew said that he likes the show. You can check out us here on Tuesdays. We run Torg, the Horseman campaign, which is going really well. They're in the middle of Oroch. They have to save.
Really well.
I don't know if I'd call it really well.
Splendidly.
See,
I'm
yes,
having
I
a
agree.
blast, and the chat is
Really
having a
agrees.
blast. So important marks. You can find out information on games like Myth, Dawn of Heroes, the new version of the board game that's coming out, Aventuria, the Dark Eye card game that kind of exists here. You can find out more information about Torg, Fading Suns, Myth, Tales of Legend, the role-playing game that will be coming out later this year. That Ross, who plays in the Torg game, did the system design, and I developed the setting and the adventures. So very close to my heart, and hopefully we will see it on the channel sometime soonish. So until next week, stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming. I am Jam, your GM. These are the crew members of the Oh Boy. Thank you, chat, as always, for just being just delightful and engaged. This was an unexpected benefit, I think, for all of us, like being able to engage with the chat. When we first started, we didn't really know how it was going to go. But that was 3 years ago, and you guys have just been wonderful, just wonderful companions on this journey. And also, as always, let me just give a shout out to our moderators, Phantom and Rook, and to our amazing, tireless, hard-working producer, JD. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming, and we will see you in a week for more Fading Suns. Have a good one. So yeah, I've been waiting for those 7 words to come up for